Hi, my name is David. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over my January budget, pretty much what I spent on in January and everything. As you can see, what I was forecasted and what I actually got, there was a good jump there. The expenses was way higher. It's $1,000 higher than what I thought. And so this is what I have left, and that's what I have left in the bank right now, and that's gotta last till my next check. So let's go through some of the numbers here. So pretty much I just paid the minimum on everything. I wasn't able to spend any extra on pretty much anything. And that's due to the water bill. That was way higher than expected. The dryer breaking, and pretty much that's it. And then the rest of the money was just kind of wasted. So it's not a good start to the year. But the reason I wrote everything down was that way I can see where my money's going. So there's a whole process to it. And as you're gonna see, there's a lot of areas where we can save money. All right, so let's see here. So yeah, so paid my rent. The phones was exactly, so everything going down here. So this is what the water bill was. So next month I'll be able to just set aside $50. So it should be back to normal. They did come do a reading, and they said that it's much lower. So they feel that the leak is fixed. So we'll go from there, and then now the only thing is I can probably ask them to come back in next month. Well, it'll be February, and to get another like midway reading, just to double check. And so the groceries was way higher than what I really expected it to be. Medical, that was a little higher than what we were expecting. That's mostly because there's some different prescriptions and stuff that's going on. Let's go down. So restaurant, so this is all fast food stuff. So like, even though we're spending all this money on groceries, like we're still spending way too much on fast food and restaurants, and we don't always do like, junky fast food. Actually, I can click it, see. So this is all the instances of fast food. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we went and had a fast food or pizza 7 days. So that's 7 days where we could have saved money or even ate cheaper. The hiking and playing. So last month we ended up only going and actually it was a planned hiking trip, but we ended up just because the weather was not so nice, and so once we got up there we ended up just bowling instead. So we had fun bowling. So that's the cost of bowling and everything, and eating food and gas and snacks to drive an hour away just to play bowling in the mountains. Clothing, so a lot of this is actually it's clothing, but it's also work uniforms. So snacks and drinks, so this is mostly me. When I go to work, especially when I'm working graveyard, I end up buying energy drinks and some candy and stuff like that, and just some sugar products, and so that's why this is much higher. Let's see here. So yeah, so these are all the instances of getting energy drinks and candy for mostly for myself. There's a few in here where when I pick up the kids from school, we drive by and we'll get like ices or something. Obviously we can lower that down. So let's see here. So miscellaneous, this was the cost of the dryer. So the dryer was $75, the truck rental, gas, some parts I needed to actually get it installed, get the vent cleaned out, mostly because the way it goes into the wall and then it goes up, and then goes through the roof and then vents out outside. So once I hooked it up, it wasn't really drying all that well again, so I had to check. So I ended up having to snake out the vent that's up there and pulled tons of lint out. So I mean, that's kind of something maybe if you guys have dryers that do the same, that goes into the wall and that has a vent that goes through your wall or roof for an extended while. Like, I think the vent is actually, I would estimate it over 30 feet long, so that's a long ways to push any of the lint that gets past the lint trap out. So yeah, so it's a good thing. Maybe you can check your vent, clean it. I ended up getting this vent snake from Home Depot. It cost $20, which is kind of expensive, but I think it'll be worth it, because now I'll have it and I can, just set it up as a regular maintenance every 6 months or so. I'll probably end up snaking it out. That way also I'm using less energy to dry my clothes, which will save money. So I'll make sure I get the $20 worth out of it. Let's see here. So yeah, so that was the miscellaneous. This is $75 just because my daughter's birthday is coming up, and that's how much it costs to reserve the roller rink that she wants to go to. And then so then the rest of the birthday money will actually go into the February's budget, but that's what we've spent just to reserve the roller rink. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So monthly income was much higher, but also our expenses was much higher, mostly due to poor planning, like with groceries and everything. And yeah, a lot of waste. So I visually have something to look at. Me and my wife, we can sit down and try to use this to actually do better for next month. So I did set up February a little bit here. So this is what I plan on getting. My expenses are actually higher, so we definitely have to do something better. And the reason the expenses is higher is just because I used last month, so this is a little bit less than what we spent last month, or well, yeah, for January. And so this number is higher than it was. And restaurants, I put last like January's amount in there. So if we can cut these two down, my snacks and drinks, I need to cut that down. So so those are the three big things. Need to try to save money. But yeah, so that's the little plan for February. So yeah, so that was January. So if you like this video, I'll be doing more like this. Go ahead and subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next one.